Greetings, freedom lovers. Welcome to Atlanta Linux Fest 2009, UbuCon 2009 in Atlanta, and Software Freedom Day. I'm sorry that I don't get to be there in person with you. I know that Atlanta brings together the brightest and the best. That's why I didn't make the cut. Yesterday was my birthday, and so today, somewhere in the world, I am celebrating in part a hangover and in part Software Freedom Day. UbuCon is an event that has happened in many parts of the world. It brings together people who are passionate not just about free software, but also about the way that we bring all of these incredible components together, all of these amazing contributions from all of these amazing communities, and build this amazing thing called Ubuntu. I know that in the room there are people who share my passion for bringing the very best of the free software community's outputs together on one disk, and then making sure that that disk is everywhere. I have been accosted by people in the remotest corners of the globe, either wanting to give me Ubuntu CDs or asking me for Ubuntu CDs that they could give to other people. And I guess it's going to be the same in Atlanta today. It's been a very busy year in the Ubuntu community. There are a number of different things that I could highlight. Probably the biggest thing for us is the focus that is now starting to come to bear on our next release, which will be our LTS release, and that is going to establish a whole bunch of things. First, it will be effectively the third LTS release in a row delivered on a 2-year cadence, and I think that's an extraordinarily important thing to be able to say, that in practicing the art of building Ubuntu and in creating this enormous community, we have not lost sight of the importance of delivering all of that goodness from all of those many communities on a predictable cadence. And we've shown that we can do it not just on a 6-month cadence for sort of latest and best pieces, but we can also build a 2-year cadence on top of that for people and large organizations who need long-term support and the predictability that goes both with their ability to deploy and support pieces, but also their ability to plan for the next major release. This is something that we get by virtue of the fact that we work with free software. You just couldn't do this with proprietary software because you don't have the visibility on the planning horizon. But with free software, we can fundamentally deliver an entire platform in a long-term supported capability every 2 years. So delivering Ubuntu 10.04 as an LTS is, I think, the definitive proof that that 2-year cadence works. I'm really pleased to say that we've had the opportunity to do some good behind-the-scenes coordination with Debian, which is the most important distribution to us in terms of the way we interact with other distributions. I hope over time that we can broaden that and make this something that all free software distributions strive to be part of, and that we can really elevate the art of free software and not just the art of Ubuntu. The name of Ubuntu 10.04 is coming up with the names of distributions is a wonderful challenge and a wonderful sort of art form. Amber Grainer, who invited me to be with you guys today, asked me to talk a little bit about Ubuntu 10.04, and I can see Nick sitting closer and closer to the edge of his seat. Well, if you haven't heard the name of Ubuntu 10.04, then I'm very pleased to tell you that it will be the Lucid Lynx, which is a name that I think brings together all of the key characteristics that we're striving for in our next LTS. To be lucid means to be very clear, very focused on the important points, to be able to communicate very clearly what's important, and to do that in a calm and sustained manner. And those are exactly the sorts of characteristics that we want from an LTS release. The Lynx is a predator, but it's a very thoughtful and considered predator. It focuses on finding the right targets of opportunity at the right time. Lynx is also well known as a global brand of deodorant, which means that this year's Ubuntu Developer Summit is going to be the sweetest smelling Ubuntu Developer Summit ever, despite the fact that it's happening in Dallas, not far from where you guys are now, and not far and not much different in the sort of sweltering index. So the Lucid Lynx Ubuntu Development Summit in November should absolutely be on your calendars. From the desktop point of view, with Lucid, we'll be focusing on delivering the very best of GNOME 2.0. Remember, this is kind of the pinnacle of GNOME 2.0. After Lucid, all of our attention will be focused on bringing in the very best of the new technologies, new architectures, new experiences, and so on being developed as part of GNOME 3.0, as well as all of the goodness that's coming out of the Ayatana initiative, and that shows up mostly in Ubuntu's netbook interface and netbook experience. On the server side, of course, we'll be taking the large-scale horizontal scalability, sort of large volume deployment heritage of Debian, and really trying to push that into cloud computing, looking to make sure that 10.04 is a platform for anybody who's building large-scale web infrastructure, whether you're trying to sort of build the next Facebook or the next Google or the next eBay. If you want to start on EC2 and then migrate to your own managed cloud, Ubuntu 10.04, the Lucid Lynx, is going to be the platform for you. So that's where we're. The focus of all of our efforts is on delivering Ubuntu 9.10, another very exciting release. I guess that everybody at UbuCon will be interested in how that's going to go out and how we're going to rally the community around the launch and the release of that. We absolutely need your help and support, and thank you very much for everything that this amazing community does with each successive Ubuntu release, getting it out there. There are probably people in the room now who deserve substantial amounts of credit for that. If you know who they are, then please seek them out and give them due credit, because it's an enormous job. So, wishing you all a fantastic UbuCon, a fantastic Atlanta Linux Fest, a fantastic Software Freedom Day. I hope that 2009 is a memorable event in Atlanta, and look forward to meeting all of you at some stage somewhere in the world. Have fun.